Look at this plant right here. Does anybody know what this plant is called?
Can I have the clippers?
No.
It's Elecampane.
How do you know?
Big leaves, thick stem, pointy on it.
That's right. This is called Elecampane. Where do you think the energy of this plant is right now? Here's the choices. The leaves and the stem, the flowers, or the seeds, or roots under the ground? You think the energy's in the roots? Yeah, see, it already made its leaves, and then the energy was in the leaves in the spring. Let go of the clippers, Rowan. Then it made these beautiful yellow flowers up top, and the energy was all up here in the flowers. And then it went to seed, and now the seeds are all ready. And look, they just come right out, and they're ready to reseed, so they'll make more Elecampane plants. And now the energy's dropped back down into the roots, and so this is the time of year when we gather roots, because the roots of this plant are what makes the medicine for us.
Does that go for most plants in the fall? Yeah?
Yeah, the fall is the time to gather roots. So we're going to dig a little bit with our hands around the bottom of this and see if we can find its roots.
Now we're cutting down and getting rid of all the leaves. They're all done here, so we're cutting the plant back.
I remember what.
And let's take a look here. What do you say, Kim?
We don't necessarily need it to reseed, so we don't necessarily need to wait for all these seeds to drop.
Hey, a snail!
It also spreads by its roots.
Right. It also spreads by its roots. A little teeny tiny plant? Look at that, you're right, you do have a teeny tiny one.
Okay, so let's keep moving.
Alright, so what we've uncovered here with our hands and our shovels is a big root, kind of a big root ball in the middle that goes where all these stalks are coming off of, and then from that middle root.
Just put your hands around the whole mass of the root area, Kimberly. That's how big the whole root is. Her hands are around. That's the whole root she's holding. Goes deep. Okay, go ahead.
And then it puts off these runners, and then new stalks can come up over where these are coming off. So that's how it spreads by its roots. So when we want to make medicine from it, we just pick maybe one or two of its runners to take.
Depending on how much you want to make. If you want to make more, you take more. And it's going to grow back. That's the whole root's right there. You're not hurting any of it. You could even take a shovel and divide this big root, right? And put it in different places and have two plants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As long as you've got healthy root. See, when it starts to move, you'll notice that some of the root gets squishy, and then that root is not going to produce again. So it kind of moves. You never think of plants as moving, but they do. They just move slowly. This other pink one down here.
Chew a little of that, and you'll understand why it's really helpful for the lungs. Very, what we call pungent.
There's one right here.
I think I'm going to take this nice one. And then we're going to just carefully recover all these roots, okay? So they can spread out for next year.
We could take some of this to make honey, which we're going to do, but you can also take some and cut it, slice it up and dry it.
No, we're not there
Make tincture.
We're covering it up.
Before we go and chop up the Elecampane root, we did wash the root outside. So there we go. And then with the garden hose. Let's go in and make some honey and stuff. Okay, so now we're cutting us an Elecampane root. Let's take a Dane there is cutting it very thinly on an angle. Rowan's got a good angle there too. They both have their knives. What shows a good angle piece, Mama? Thanks, Kimberly. Yeah, so we're cutting it on the angle, getting nice slices like that, and she's going to fill up the jar halfway. And we're making just little jars here, but of course you can make a quart jar of this if you want. We go through a pint maybe, or a quart sometimes a winter. Because Elecampane is very helpful for your immune system, lungs, coughs. Whenever you have a cold, we take this honey out. We can show some finished honey too. Yep. Right? We'll show that.
This was Rowan's favorite cough remedy.
Rowan's favorite cup.
He doesn't mind at all when I say, okay, it's time to take your Elecampane. And he says,
You don't mind, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's probably plenty.
Can we try some of the Elecampane honey?
Yes, of course.
Why don't you try?
The challenge, not spitting it out.
All right, so now we're just going to pour honey over this root.
Oh, yuck.
Yuck. You don't like honey?
And no guts are good.
Oh, the root. You just tried some of the root. Good thing you rather garbage
That
can.
smells more.
Now we're filling up these jars with honey.
Ooh. No, I'm spitting it out.
That's
I swallowed it.
And the same thing, we're just going to kind of get the air out.
Pretend it's a different video.
Oh, we're just going to move this around so we get the little air pockets to come out. So the honey's all filling the jar.
Okay.
And then we'll top them off with a little bit more honey.
Are we going to keep doing this like this?
You can take those home and keep doing that for about a week. Just keep flipping
With
it with
those?
both
Every
of
time you pass by.
with both of them. This is the Elecampane honey that we made last year, so we used...
It's refrigerated, so it's solid down there. That's what.
Yeah. We used a cup or so of it last winter with our coughs.
I guess we weren't that sick last year because we were eating our miso broth every morning. And so we didn't get too many coughs last year. That's a good sign when you open your Elecampane honey and you haven't used a lot. It means you're taking care of yourself. All right.
So you can eat it, just take a spoonful and eat it with the roots in it and chew them up.
And that's like if you got a bad cough, you want a really bad cough, you want to hold it. Kind of like holding a cough drop in your mouth, isn't it?
Yes. But for the kids, they can't
And the root. So they just want to eat the honey
we
part.
just give Rowan the honey just without the root in it. And he says, yum!